right, welcome back to 758 Sports Talk, and you could see my guest for the evening. I have to my right the critic, the doctor, and a newfound name after this weekend, the Gade, for his predictions on the finals and third place of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup. I'm getting some noise in my the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup, and I have on my left the CEO of Veterans in Sports Inc., Mr. Alvin Malakan. I guess these guys are no strangers. St. Lucia, I know that's the last time for the year. Yeah, I know. That's the last time, I think. But anyway, but guys, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We had to definitely had to tie in everything from the weekend. We cannot have what I determine and what everybody, almost to the head, has said, the best veterans competition ever in St. Lucia's history, and not tie it up. So we definitely have to do that. But before we do that, I have to definitely get the scores in from the Division 1 Cup. Uptown victorious in the first game versus Harvey Juniors 3-0.
Not just Uptown, Uptown
Rebels. The Rebels.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, man.
I was down there.
I had to be elsewhere. When I heard the time, I was like, oh my God, I had to be at the Matheson Cup.
It would have been tough for you,
Yeah, it would have been impossible. Antonio Joseph, Tivwe, 2 goals. Jovic McFarlane, 1 goal. So we see the transfer window starting to already pay dividends for Uptown Rebels. Big players versus Alès, in contrast to the first game, which was very tactical. The second game ended with big players winning the encounter with the opening goal being scored by Nigel Francis in the 14th minute. So they won 1-0. All right.
As a matter of fact, that game ended up 2-1.
2-1 just now. Okay, so let me read the whole thing.
Yeah, 2-1.
The first half ended 1. Okay, the first half ended 1-0 in favor of big players. A determined Alice made recovery, I guess. They were able to equalize in the 40th minute. Okay. With a goal from Vernon Montoute, big players dashed the hopes of Alice in its supporters with Jordan Seturge clinical finish in the 80th minute. 2 yellow cards were issued to Alice in the 40th and 81st. You see, all that information, right? Yellow cards.
They give you a comprehensive report.
Very comprehensive. All right, so Division 1 football is off the ground. We also saw, I have some messages already. Of course, Reader Stanislas is on, locked on to the show tonight. We spoke about him a little bit a while ago. Very talented, very, very skillful player. All right, somebody says, what's your predictions? You're already on me. What's your predictions on the finals of the DJ Dunga Cup? Peter Travel Young Stars, they take on Rovers United. I'll tell you that after the game. Continue the good work. I'll ask him. Continue the good work, Kenson, of promoting sports around the country. I'm impressed. Thank you very much. All right. So somebody says, hope all is well. Thank you very much for the greetings, guys. Big up to we there tonight, Kenson. Big up to you. All right. All right. Somebody says, disappointed much. Didn't see you yesterday to take pics. I'm not sure where they're talking about. I could only be one place at a time. So they're talking about the Mavia Valley. I was there and I did have some assistants with me. But yesterday would have been very, very tough on me. I was absolutely exhausted. I have no other way of putting it. I've been 7 days straight for a couple of weeks now. There's no other way of putting it. Exhausted. And so definitely excuse me on that. We do have some pictures for you. We will show you some of that in a little while. But I just wanted to talk a little bit, and I wanted to get you all, because you guys are sports lovers and you'll understand. We're doing veterans football, but we understand what it means to get things done from the grassroots. Before we get into actual veterans finals, I think it would be remiss of me to have visited the Deriso Community Center. And we have some pictures which we will flash through for you, that the place was absolutely jam-packed with, we're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds just beaming with anticipation for a grassroots program. So we're seeing part of the St. Lucia Football Association's mandate. You have to have, in terms of your club structure, a grassroots program. And we've seen some of the pictures there. I pretty much had to bring this to St. Lucia because I was absolutely amazed by, we spoke about production a while ago when it came to veterans football, but we saw El Niños FC taking the bull by the horn. They had a PowerPoint presentation on exactly how this grassroots program will work. They had presentations from the president. We're seeing the president right now, members of the football team, the senior football team. We saw members from the Football Association. We saw the president of the St. Lucia National Football Association. We saw presentations of kits to those young kids. And this is what we are looking at right now. An absolutely packed hall with parents, with football lovers, with ordinary persons standing outside, just want to see what is going on inside. And I must say that I was absolutely impressed with that. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, that's the way to go. Of course, everything that you're trying to achieve or trying to build always starts from the ground. And like you mentioned, it's the mandate of the Central Football Association. So it's all well and good that you have clubs, but they have a mainstay in terms of, or a nursery rather, coming through. So it's all well and good. I just hope that they can continue in that vein, because it's all well and good to start it and have the PowerPoint presentations. These things are very easy to do, but it's the sustenance and to make sure the program sees its full way through. But hats off to El Niños to getting the grassroots program off the ground.
Yeah, it speaks to being visionary as well, because I mean we're talking about the veterans football, but in the midst of veterans football, we're seeing
you start there.
You
start there. So it's all right. Yeah,
and I think that's what it is. And again, when you look at communities like Deriso, and you mentioned earlier Deriso, Soufre, Vieux-Fort, these communities, football is almost like a way of life there. So I'd really encourage the St. Lucia Football Association to really challenge, the energies to communities like that. I think you can develop really good, grassroots, programs in those communities.
Very well said, very well said. And I mean, I sat down there and I took in some of the communication. I took the actual environment into consideration, and I just thought back to my childhood, and when football was pretty much just teams, anybody can play and that sort of thing. There wasn't this thrust to have it organized so well, and for a team in a community that they dominated football for the last 2 seasons. They won back to back in terms of their league. They had knockout last year. They did a treble in the community, and we saw exporting. They actually exported talent. Jovel Toubier being one of the best young players on island. Obviously, as we always encourage persons, you need to get your academics in line. And we saw this young man come in, and like I said, in that match on the weekend, they seem to have missed him, but I would speak for Carlos Mosheri in terms of the coach of the team, when I absolutely believe that he would have it no other way. A young individual came out from El Niños FC and actually moving on and now playing overseas. So definitely had to have that discussion tonight, and we definitely had to show you what is going on in Deriso. I think it's something that in the future we may look back on, and I think we will look back on.
Definitely.
And we will see when we see club football at 20 teams participating in the Division 1, and then we see in El Niños on top constantly. We would think back to the weekend of the 10th of the 9th of February, where we saw a grassroots program really take shape, and the following day, from all indications with my conversation with Carlos, that people came out very early the Saturday morning for the start of the program, and it was very well put together, very well attended. And so hats off to these guys. Well done, Deriso. So congratulations, and congratulations to El Niños and their football league there. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's start with the third place. Mr. Malakan, I'd like to get your impressions on just how people were trickling in, and we saw almost a packed stadium for the third place already. That was between Central Vieux-Fort and the Mabia Valley.
Yeah, I think we the matches you saw on the weekend from the third place. When you look at Central Vieux-Fort coming up against Valley Legends, I think it's a match people would enjoy. I think you had good quality teams playing for that third place. TT coming up against Rato and the guys. So we kicked off the finals Saturday. With a good match. So people were coming in and getting entertained watching this matchup and thing. I think when it started, I think again you have Central Vieux-Fort playing. When it started, I think people were a little in shock, because Valley Legends got on, very early, they came out, and I think it really had Central really step up their games again. I think the nature of the team, the competitive spirit, you know, of TT Wilbur Butu. You could see, you know, the guy after the goal was scored, that the guy just moved into a different gear.
Yeah,
you know, and they stepped it up, you know, and the fans were really entertained to a good third place matchup.
Yeah, and Mr. Glasgow, you predicted that for sure that Viewfort, the Central Viewfort, was the overwhelming. In fact, you had them at an overwhelming favorite.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, let's slow down there. Let's just think a little bit. We're talking about the Valley, who played very good football, but we were outplayed by Gross. They had some injuries, and they came into that game. But you always saw Viewfort, Central Viewfort, coming out on top.
Yeah, indeed, because remember, it's the home ground of the Central Viewfort team. Not only that, the longer you get into the competition, the more, how do I say, your confidence sort of builds. And they were disappointed to have not made the final, so we wanted to make amends for that. It's as if like, they really owed it to themselves and their preparation, because those guys worked tirelessly to ensure that they were in the final four. So they lost in the semi-finals. However, the fans, the few that they have in Viewfort South, although they're from Viewfort, the few that they have, what they wanted to do was to quiet the Viewfort South fans. So that's like added motivated for TT and his group to ensure, you know something, okay, we didn't get to the finals, but we have some silverware. And I think that's what's really spurred them on. When Marbella Valley took the lead, I remember Donovan telling me, well, boy, your prediction. I said, no, Donovan, the game is 90 minutes. Football is not a sprint.
Yeah.
Football is not a sprint. And I always tell players that. Up to yesterday, I was telling some of the members of the Uptown Rebels team that you have to learn to manage the 90 minutes. A lot of persons believe, oh, they score first and that's it. You have a lot of time to go. Players get tired. And when you get tired, you cannot think as sharp as you started. And the chances created or the chances given by the Central Viewfort team, they took them. And that was it.
Yeah, but very, very good game for sure. And I mean, we saw we saw some of the technical, because to score a free kick in Viewfort in February, you have to understand the breeze, the wind, and
it was
everything.
very breezy.
It was
Saturday.
very windy.
Very
and
windy.
I mean, we saw the quality of Butu just lashing onto that free kick and just bending that far post. And I remember thinking, oh my God.
And that comes with confidence. Huh?
Yeah.
Confidence and practice.
He didn't even celebrate.
Exactly.
No, he did not.
Exactly.
Because I guess in his, that's just how Butu is, you know.
Yeah, he's a very calm,
very
calm
person, you know.
person.
You wouldn't find Butu running and celebrating. He scores, he walks back easy, you know.
Yeah.
But that was a magnificent free kick.
Indeed,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
again, like I said, it's their home ground. Those guys actually grew up. That's where they grew up. The guys know every inch of that park, and they will. And as a matter of fact, before the kickoff, I saw TT actually watching the wind direction to choose which end to defend or attack first. That's how much they know what's going on. So kudos to them for getting to the silverware. Like I mentioned, they did it. So said, so done.
All right. Now, we before we get to the actual final, let's talk about the halftime, because we saw a lot of people pretty much coming in and talking about, you know, I shouldn't say halftime, the in between games, the atmosphere that, you know, that veterans of football brought in this year in terms of the stilt walkers and all that. How did that work out for you guys? In terms of organizers?
I think this year we wanted, as we look at veterans football, it's really entertainment football and keeping the fans, you know, glued to the field, you know, what's happening around you, you know. Yes, you have the bars, but you need to have other things happening around. I think the entertainment segment is very important, you know, to keeping people involved in the game, you know. So we brought in the musical entertainment with DJ Lovely, some of the Denry segment, you know. But we wanted to make it a little different. So you had the stilt walkers, you know, they were gonna do the fire eating, but the wind was so strong, so we didn't want any incident, you know.
It was breezy.
but it was a really nice entertainment segment, you know. And again, you know, you want to keep the family atmosphere alive, you know. You had the kids, you know, so you know everybody, you know, they enjoyed it.
Definitely,
you know? It's become a very important part of veterans football.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing. I think other organizers will be really looking at that with envy and figure, well, this is a very, very nice touch.
Just to add to what Alvin just said, I think it's a situation where it's like more like value-added attraction. So as much as you come to watch football, but we package it in a way that, you know, apart from the football, some of what some kids may have not grown up with, they get a chance to see. So as much as you have the Denry segment, but they don't know what it is about stilt walkers and fire eaters. So I saw some kids in awe. Actually seeing it live. So there's something to look forward for them. You know, plus with the little gifts and the little tokens that they receive. So, the football is going on, the kids are entertained, the moms and dads, they're happy to be part of it, knowing fully well that the kids got a chance to see other, apart from football, other entertainment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Somebody said, for Viewfort, after all, we love our football, so always pack house. Best veterans of football competition thus far. Good job, Tennyson. Well done. The individual prizes were well received. Trust me. What point people were? Let me tell you, people had the tickets. People they're like, hey, when I call you my number.
And it's very important for me, to really try and give back. I think sometimes you buy a ticket, but then you want to have the fans, really engage, so, do the giveaways, thank you to our sponsors. Again, the sponsors really come on board and, buy into what we're trying to sell and package as a veterans football tournament. Again, we keep saying it's a movement, a movement in many ways, with the fans, and even the added touch of the of Caribbean Alliance, again, the company that I work for and manage. It's important that we, sometimes you have bags and you send it into the crowd and people, the kids don't get a chance, so it's important that we wanted to make sure that we had enough bags for all the children that were there, in attendance, so if there were like 500 children, we wanted to make sure that 500 children got bags, so it was a beautiful way of getting it to the kids, again, thank you to Tennyson and Donovan, because I brought the bags to them and said, boy, we need to get it to the kids, but we couldn't figure out how, we said, okay, well, they could line up, and seriously, when I saw the kids walking up, as an organizer, as a manager, of a company, because I'm also the managing director of Caribbean Alliance. When I saw that, it almost brought a little tear to my eye, because it was just a beautiful thing for me, or just watching that, as a sponsor, a promoter. Yeah, it was a real nice touch.
And the funny thing about it is that how much they appreciated it. Because remember, we just took the mic and we said, okay, kids, form a line. And in no time, form a line. And they were just, everybody was just making sure they come. Some kids were actually calling other kids to ensure that they get a bag as well. So it shows the appreciation for what it is. So, like, I want persons to think that when they hear veterans football, it's not about just old men or older men playing football or guys who have played before. What you come to see is more than football.
Definitely.
More than football.
Definitely. All right. Somebody says, good night, Kenson. Good night, Chung. And good night, the CEO, Malakan.
Good night.
Yeah, but make sure they address you properly.
Good night.
All right. That's G-Dog there from...
Okay.
I couldn't show his interview. I did a nice little interview, but time constraint, I couldn't show everything. But yeah, always a supporter of sport.
Big time.
To be honest, I mean, we've spent almost 4 or 5 months down in the south every weekend. And I can tell you, they have so many people that I've met. I might not remember everybody's name, but I can connect with them just by being part of the veterans football. And I really appreciate that because you hear of, oh boy, don't view photo or whatever, you all see different communities. But I always believe that when you touch base with people, that's when you get to know people. So I highly appreciated our time down there, Alvin. I think we really touched some hearts or some families down there.
Definitely. I think on Saturday evening, people were saying, wow, when are you coming back? And it was almost as if you were leaving. I said, I'm still in St. Lucia. And a special shout out. You see Angel and Valdez. I think the vendors.
That's the lady who normally waits for us, right?
Boy, she takes care of me after the
but imagine,
I really need Lixie because she takes care of me during.
She will not leave until I come.
When I park my car, first thing, Tennyson, no doubt for you today. So she actually knows. She knows.
Let me tell you, I don't even have to ask. As soon as I reach there, the fall is out, the fish, the kingfish. She knows exactly what
everybody wants.
She knows that by golden apple juice, golden apple.
And special shout out to Jeff, Mrs. Bella.
Mrs. Bella. That cocoa tea. You want people know how to make their money. Nobody. The place cold.
It's a community and they know what sells. They know what sells. And we just bought into it. And let me tell you, I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, very interesting that you said that we bought into it. We did, because what it is, they allowed us into their home. And that's what it is, the community of Viewfort is like a home to veterans football.
Definitely.
So allowing you into your home, you have to respect it and appreciate it. And I think that's really what brings out, the best of both of us.
Yeah, indeed.
You want to impress, the community. You don't want to take things for granted, and at the same time, it's reciprocated. And that's what makes it a beautiful movement. And we keep saying a veterans football movement. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it goes beyond just playing the football. And I'm telling you, one of the touching things about this tournament, as you know, I have a lot of respect for Titi. And at the end of the tournament, Titi came to me, and I think he did, and that is so, boy, that touched me when he came to me and tell me, boy, thank you. This tournament, is very important to all of us. I think, boy, I cannot wait for October to come.
Wow.
Because you see, when it can just be just one player.
Yeah.
But when you have a player like Titi, Titi have played everywhere. Titi plays in Trinidad, Barbados, everywhere, and he continues to play. But when somebody come to you and say something like that, and even Bosco and these guys, when they come to you and tell you, boy, this is such a good thing for the veteran football players. You have to sit back and see, boy, something, I need to make this better.
And you're saying so, Alvin, and it goes even further. Because I remember when we were at the hotel, we haven't probably wake up yet. And Bosco and those guys are already outside ensuring that we get breakfast. Ensuring that we get breakfast. Like, whilst we're having breakfast, they're thinking of lunch already.
Imagine that. Good stuff.
Because, you're doing the weekend matches.
So you'll be well taken care of. Well taken care of.
Definitely.
And it's an appreciation, and then, but you can't take it for granted, It's very important.
Another really nice touch to this year's veterans. I know we had a bit of it last year, but I mean, MC Donoville and Tennyson on that mic. Let me tell you, that's a perfect combination. Let me tell you, you see Donoville, I love my guy, so I think all of them should know that by now. And I mean, when I sit down on the tent and Donoville on that mic,
you're good.
I will tell you, so I come there for the Kaiso, but that's a show by himself. And so, man, I really, really enjoyed it. We have some more messages. Somebody says, best veterans tournament for sure. Well done. Hi, guys. I really enjoy the football. And traveling from Castries to Beaufort is a joy knowing I'm coming to watch good football. Well done. Thanks, Mr. Malakan. Mrs. Maida, I think that is.
That's I think husband plays for Lancers.
Lancers.
She's always there.
She's always
great.
Yeah, she makes sure she get a picture.
She doesn't sit in the stands,
She's
right on the railing, right on the railing.
Even if she's cool,
Best place to be, Beaufort. Come again.
Definitely.
Now you hear us saying about Beaufort. Remember, keep in mind that we were in Soufrière, we were in Grosley, and we were also in Mabia Valley. Now we love those communities as well, but majority of our time was spent at the Philip Master grounds.
Yeah, definitely. Donoville is actually watching. He said he tuned in a little late, but he is there, so he is watching as well.
Donoville is an amazing guy. Trust me, boy. Amazing guy.
Yeah, but all right.
But it's a good thing. I guess we spent a lot of time in Beaufort. I think when you look at the venues, a lot of work we have to do with the venue. We have to do in preparation, preparing the venues. We did a weekend in Soufrière, we did Grosile, Larissos. I would say Larissos. So when we did the moving around, Larissos probably had the best surface. But then I guess we found a home in Beaufort. So that's why we spend most of our time. We played most of our matches there. Beaufort, you could say is in a way is more central. To all the teams. And then when you have most of the teams are really from the south. Denry, Miku. So Beaufort was just a wonderful place. To just stay.
The final, Grosley versus Soufrière. We saw Grosley coming out, and
before we say Grosley coming out, the two of you picked Grosley. Let the listeners know.
Oh, but we will get into that.
No.
But I still maintain. No. I maintain. No. I maintain. Grosley with 11 men would have. Let me tell you. You will always say would have, could have, should have. That you will say it at the end of the day, and I will agree with you. That is football. But Grosley with 11 men to Soufrière's 11 men was taking the game into Soufrière. Now, I will say this very early on. I'm a host. I have a responsibility. I have young persons that are coming up, that are watching football, and that need to understand the referee's decision is always final. As heartbreaking as it was for me, early in a final, a veterans final. We're talking about persons that are beyond the age of 40 to now have to play a man down. I was absolutely proud of the fight my community, that team, like that Grosley team put on in front of them. I'm telling you, all of Grosley fans felt that it was an injustice to have been down to 10 men because they did not believe that it should have been a straight red. I mean, we stayed there, we tried to support. I mean, it was an absolute pleasure to see the fight Grosley veterans put on. Take nothing away from Soufrière. In terms of the entire tournament, I've said this before, Soufrière played the best football up until the final.
Both teams played the best.
Exactly.
Both teams, yeah.
Up until the final. But I believe that Grosley, in terms of the composition of the team and everything, and very early we saw Roger Celestine coming off the back. Just boom, definitely. Goal and good football. So, I mean, it is what it is. I could tell you definitely I do not agree with the referee's call. I'd reason to say the referee's decision is final. Shout out to Soufrière. Shout out to Barboy. I was still very happy for Dabrio, man. I saw him standing there with the team on his crutches. I respect this guy. I love this guy's style. Just though his demeanor, everything about this guy says, be just safe.
Yeah, he's a very humble guy. Very humble guy. As a matter of fact, the entire layout of the Soufrière veterans team, those guys are very humble individuals. I mean, you see those guys talk to Alvin, and some of those guys even hug Malakan. That shows the appreciation for what it is. And as much as you mentioned the referee's decision, and I often hear everybody has their opinion of what it is, but the referee is charged with that responsibility. To me, the decision is very harsh, based not because it was a final, but it's just because it was the composition of what happened. It was not like a foul of intent. It's a circumstance, and I would have probably given the defender a yellow card and give him a stern warning, just to say, well, you know what, buddy, you need to relax, whatever. But I won't go to a straight red card. It didn't spoil the party, but you could have seen.
Because still fought.
Let me tell you.
But let me tell you, just on that red card, you know what I admired about Baba and his team? After the red card, sometimes you see people getting on and everything. Boy, let me tell you, the professionalism with that Grosley team after the red card was amazing, The guys took it, and they readjusted the team. They readjusted and I admire that.
Again, it shows how mature the league is. So I'm thinking now that the referee didn't sleep properly that night because you realize that oh my God, what did I just do?
You always want to
it is part of sports. There's always a storyline.
And you want to find out where the referee is not the center of attention. The play on the field is what actually matters. I mean, I don't think any referee want to at the end of the day be the cause.
Let me tell you, may they sleep, when you're in that kind of situation, it haunts you, it's like, no, seriously, there are catches you miss as a youngster in cricket, or there's a penalty you throw away or goal, that stays with you. And I can tell you, he's watching tonight. And I can tell you, boy, ref, I don't want to be in your shoes, but like Alvin mentioned, Grosley really showed their worth, and they fought until the end.
Until the end.
And the fans,
they stayed
amazing fans.
And they never went. They were not in uproar. They may have been disappointed, but at no point I saw anybody like the favorite chant. No. Everybody just said, okay, boy, that is part of sports. Let's carry on with it. And Grosley played a good game with 10 men.
Definitely. And I think the way that the players played on the pitch kind of filtered to the fans.
Confident.
They were confident, and Grosley was playing, and then sometimes you'd have to then think, okay, yes, we saw the red card, so that's when you knew they were 10 men down, I think what affected them too is when Rasky went down with the hamstring injury. I think Baba then had to move up front.
That hamstring was due, because the guy
ran for the entire tournament.
Let me tell you, boy, and that's something I know about.
I seen it's from Soufrière typing there. I'm not even going to that message. It's not even
But that being said, guys, we saw a Soufrière team. As much as the Soufrière mini stadium is closed, but those guys use the northern end of the pitch just behind the goal area to prepare themselves. But the engine. When I say engine, those guys work very hard. They work hard. Soufrière was down 1 very early in the encounter. Yes, you have the red card situation, but they were not phased, They kept playing, hoping that chance would come through. Until when, and the one who scored, it was a misfortune.
Yeah, again, yeah.
It was a misfortune.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yes,
those
it's
are
an
still
issue.
in the-
Yeah.
yeah,
So you see how equal both teams were.
were.
But like I mentioned, I said that I just had it. I had it. The reason why I predicted that Sufre would have won is that they've been there before. They know what it is to win a finals. Grossly, time will come. If that squad stays together,
Next
their
one,
time
next
will
one.
come.
Squad, yeah.
Trust me, their time
All
will
right,
come.
so somebody says that's Ace. Big up Soufre, most consistent team in veterans football. I don't think anybody in their right
Challenge
mind.
that, yeah.
Okay, my thing just totally fell off. So I think I might be using your mic now. Yeah, very, very consistent team in veterans football. Football rules are football rules. It doesn't matter if it's a final under 15 of veterans. If you're the last man and you take down the forward, preventing a clear goal scoring opportunity, and that's where we disagree. There were many persons around. It wasn't like it was one-on-one with the keeper and that sort of thing. We disagree
There was
there.
still something to happen. So,
Yeah. So, somebody's So, if you were the last man and you take down the forward, preventing a clear goal scoring opportunity, it's a red card. Big up Malakan. Well done on a great tournament. Well said.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll take a break. I'm pretty much forced to take a break to ensure that my mic is back strapped on. When we come back, I know a lot of people in the valley. They're waiting to see some of the shots from the Marcusson Cup. But we'll go to that and we will immediately open the phone lines because we know so many people have so much to say. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to 758 Sports Talk. We are discussing all events on the weekend, and persons have already sent in messages because they want the predictions from the doctor. And let me read this message first. Elijah Williams from the banter.
Yeah.
You start calling on this phone. The you boy Kenson. You should have danced. Now they kept saying that to me and you should have a dancer.
Yeah.
At the final. But I told them, what was the admission?
Yeah, $15.
$15.
Nah, really sticks, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
Y'all want me to dance in front of a whole crowd for 15? Come on. Man. Y'all already.
Yeah.
You would do that?
No,
Come
no.
on.
€15.
That would have he's saying that I should have danced. That would have motivated the guys. That's grizzly. So he asked the guy who will win next year. Let me take my place on the bed. But overall, great competition. Hats off Alvin and the crew. All right. So somebody also wanted your prediction on the Marcusson Cup between between Peter Travel Young Stars and Rovers United. We know Rovers United historically a team that has been doing well over the years. They seem to have their resurgence. Now we like I said, the finals this weekend definitely will be coming down with my boys to ensure that all the pictures are taken. But we did have some.
What date is the finals?
The finals is that Saturday. It's a Saturday night.
The Saturday Sports Awards.
Sports Awards.
Okay. I'll be at the Marcusson Cup in the Mavia Valley. Have you received the invitation to Sports Awards?
I haven't received it, but it's somewhere about. I haven't received an invitation, but it's somewhere about.
I'm not sure if I'm receiving one.
Okay.
Anyway, but anyway, so we're in the Valley on the weekend and Sunday night. Absolutely very nice atmosphere, and so we took some pictures and we're going to play that for you guys.
Always good atmosphere down in Mavia.
Yep.
Always good atmosphere.
I don't get anything.
Keisha, let we go down.
On the people, man. On the people, man. On the people, man.
All right.
On the people, man. Let's go. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa.
Shake it fast, shake it slow. Watch that girl, she is a pro. Bumper song, marshmallow. Play that there like piano. Up and down, girl, let's go. Back it up. Touch your toe. Up and down, girl, let's go. Mission boys not on papi show.
I come to push back and wing my body. And when I wing back, control my body. I come in on the band, and I'm winging on any man. Even if your woman come tell her, she have to wait till I'm done. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa.
Shake it fast, shake it slow. Watch that girl, she is a pro. Bumper song, marshmallow. Play that there like piano. Up and down, girl, let's go. Back it up. Touch your toe. Up and down, girl, let's go. Mission boys not on papi show.
Hey, who let that one touch it wrong? Who let that one turn around? Who let that one touch it wrong? Now, whoa.
So we tell them who let that one turn around. Guess who let that one touch the ground? Who let that one turn around? Y'all ready? So we tell them boom.
Give him the work now.
Hold on.
Give it to him now. Give him the work now.
So we tell them.
Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa. Give it to him now. Brace on the TPM.
All right.
Climb up on TPM.
Hold on.
Wind up on TPM.
Let me go
Push
now.
back. Push back. Push back. Push back.
All right,
Push
now.
back. Push back.
All right,
Push back.
all right,
Push back. I come to push back and wing my body. And when I wing back, control my body. I come in on the band, and I'm winging on any man. Even if your woman come tell her, she have to wait till I'm done.
Tell them.
Yo, 50 girl them there. Once again, 50 girl over there. Uncle Ellie's there. Serpents in there. Lucian girl them. Trinity girl them. Boom. Well, if you back bend, well I in that position. Let me spin that. If you crack bend me between that. Show me how you can take that. If your back bend, well I in that position. Let me spin that. If you crack bend me between that. Show me how you can take that. Take that.
Hands on your knees and bend.
Position, let me spin that.
Bend.
Bend me between that. in your wicket. You get it? Well, if you're back bend, well, I in that position, let me spin that. If you crack bend me between that, show me how you can take that.
If you want to wine, I will kick that. Bend over, let me hit that. If you want to wine, I will kick that. Bend over, let me hit that.
My girl, when go down and touch that. Please, my girl, me won't touch that. Make sure mommy go spot that, spot that, spot that, spot that.
Hand to the knees and bend, 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 bend. Push back the bumper, bend, 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 bend. Sink in your back and bend, 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 bend. Hand to the knees and bend, 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 bend. Sink in your back.
Is from Denry. Rovers is at home.
Go.
No, I doing it.
You're doing it.
I'm going with
I'm
Rovers.
making no prediction for this. I don't make any prediction.
I'm gonna
for
go with
this.
Rovers. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I haven't seen either of them play for the season, but I'm gonna go with.
But I like Riders and
Yeah, he's a top player.
top player.
Very, very
Yeah,
talented.
top player till they got to the finals on Saturday. He'll still be a top player, you know.
He'll still be-
It just won't go his way.
All right. Well, in my rankings, I had Peter Travel ahead of Rovers United, so I will just say that I will stick to that.
So you had pure travel youngsters, El Niños.
No. El Niños, Peter Travel Youngsters, and
El Niños.
Of
You had
course,
El Niños before them?
Of course, nah, man. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's the point? They had to go off on a limb sometimes.
But El Niños is strong in Deriso. El Niños have not really graduated to carry that mantle just yet.
Well, apparently
They
that's what they
graduated.
should.
No,
I
not
really
yet.
expected that it would have been more competitive.
No, not yet.
I think they're very well coached. As you can see, they're very serious. The other thing about it, they are very structured and they seem ready. But apparently they have to wait next year.
Yeah, the reason why I say so, because El Niños form the nucleus of the Deriso team. And the Deriso team have not been faring too well in community football in terms of black hats. So that's what I'm saying. They're not just yet.
Okay.
Good little bunch, skillful little bunch, and Joel Toby are missing again.
Yeah. All right. So let me get to the messages. We opening the phone lines, and the phone lines are now open for you guys. Getting the feedback. I mean, so phone lines are already ringing, but you can still send us your messages at 4880929. The phone lines are now open at 451-9788. Somebody says, "Good night, gentlemen. Great tournament, exciting and competitive football, well organized. Great choice of venue, wonderful atmosphere. Absolutely love the camaraderie among players and fans. It would be remiss of me though if I did not express disappointment with the absence of lighting in the washrooms. If I did, that's the problem.
No, very interesting. Off camera, we just spoke about.
Yes.
There are a lot of work to it, you know.
You got to point on
to the facilities, you know. And that's a definite. Yeah, we must take that into consideration.
All right. Good night. I don't believe that the player of the match. Tournament, etc., should be decided by one individual because it's only one opinion. It should be at least 3 individuals. That's for veterans tournament. I want some feedback from Alvin and Teddy. So we have our first caller. Good evening. You're live. Go ahead with your contribution.
What? No, you get
it.
Yeah, good night, guys, boy. I can't believe I'm just opening batsman, boy, tonight.
Well, you played everywhere. You're going to defend and you're going to go and score. So you're going to wicket keep fettled by. Go ahead, open the batting. Open the batting.
You can put undefeated teams away.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy, I must say it's a little disappointing. I could not make it down to the finals.
I just realized anything.
Because I was doing some final touches with my team for the first division.
Oh, yeah. Very important.
And by the time I finished that, it was a bit late. I didn't want to rush down. So.
Totally
But I was keeping in
understand.
touch with the veterans group, you know. The updates were coming in and different things, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but from the time I saw the game went into extra time, for some reason, I had a feeling super that edge it.
Yeah. Well, again, down to 10 men, I mean, you have a numerical advantage as well. You have a skillful team. I mean, it's not like you're playing a slouch. You played Soufre. So
I just want to congratulate both teams, you know, because based on what I heard, all reports, the finals was a really contested game.
Man.
And I want to congratulate Soufre, you know, for winning the championship, because based on the reports again, Soufre has been very consistent in the whole tournament.
Definitely.
You understand? Yeah. So I was on the bigger man like Barboy and Fada and Ibra and my good partner Wami boy. Wami.
Wami.
Wami must be boy real happy there, boy.
Wami on cloud 9.
12.
Yeah. But all in all, fellas, I must say, from beginning to end, great tournament. You know,
thank you.
VIS, big up.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
So VS will be back with a vengeance next year.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. But I last time I called you, like, tell all this how you start to run already, you know. we do win back to back every other year. We just come and
every other year. So next year, boy, they better be careful.
Yeah, so come in for Super next year.
Well,
later this year.
Want to say, big up to El Niños in Deriso. I saw the clip about the grassroots.
Yeah, man. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's good, you know. I just hope that it could continue and they have the support of getting some coaches to come and assist them.
Yeah.
And different things. It's all good and well to start off something and then there's no continuity.
Yeah.
You know, so I hoping that at least, you know, they have a cadre of coaches that would come in and keep the kids occupied and keep them interested in the football. You know, because that is one thing. For me personally, that is my passion.
Yeah, definitely.
If I can go on the field after work and coach somebody or something, I get fed up, fellas. Trust me.
Yeah. You don't want to see magic happening there.
You know, but all in all, I just want to say big up. Good show, Kenson, as usual.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You know, Chung, big up.
Yeah.
The Malikan, you don't know already.
Yeah, man. All the best next year. All the best next year, man.
Gavin Niles, everybody.
Yeah, man. Shout out, Gavin.
Yeah,
definitely.
Big up, man.
Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate it.
I don't know, come pay my respects.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. All right. Good night, Marcia from View Fort. She's watching closely. Somebody said, want to shout out my players at Rovers Academy. They're watching. Special shout out to our coach, Zacchaeus, a.k.a. Arno. Let me tell you, mate, doing some mook there. I tell you, from the time I watched them in that first game and I saw the way they were moving, you know that was a team to look out for. Good evening. You're live. Go ahead with a contribution.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening.
I think we need to tip our hearts off to VIS. I think we had a very good competition.
Thank you.
But Tennyson, I just want you to tell the guy who is sitting to your left, because I heard he said he's going to be in the valley over the weekend. I suspect he forget where he works, but that's for another show.
Oh, you said Tennyson. Oh, so you don't know about me?
Oh, yeah, you asked me to tell you. Tell you that.
The guy sitting to your
left and to my right.
Yeah, gentlemen, I really think we had a very good tournament. I think my concern now is we've got to review, because this is a veterans tournament, whether we go into overtime. Not just because of the time that the game finishes. Because normally, you know, veteran football sometimes is not even played at 90 minutes. And we're playing a full 90 and then we go in overtime. So that is one of the things that we need to review.
Definitely.
But I think generally the tournament was well executed. At the different venues we had it, that everything was well run. I think Central Gifford now can console themselves, knowing that they lost to the champions.
Yeah.
It was a worthy loss.
Yeah. Mr. Bellas, all the best.
Congratulations in order for Soufre.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that, Grozile didn't pull it through.
Yeah.
I was at the SLFA Awards on Saturday and I could not have been there. And I was warned by Shane that Grozile would have started the year with a win. So it's a little unfortunate that it didn't happen. But congratulations in order for everybody. Yeah. Congratulations in order for Mr. Malakan and his team.
Thank you.
Doing a good job.
Thanks.
Good show as usual, Tennyson, Kenson, everybody else who has been supporting. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
All right. Somebody says, I am so happy at this moment to say that I'll be playing against my former team, Rovers United, the Marcusson Cup Finals, hosted by DJ Dunga. But it's the guys I love. Peter Travel Youngsters, I love you, Rovers. Good luck, but I love Peter Travel Youngsters. I'm confused, man. Big up, boys. We're going all the way. That person stuck right in the middle. And that's sports, eh? That's sports for you. All right. Somebody says, a big up, a brother, Denilson Robinson from Rovers United. Good game, bro. Keep it up. All right. Let me get to some of the other messages there. All right. Someone says, good night, everyone. She's watching. Somebody says, "Hi, good evening. I didn't hear any feedback. I didn't hear any feedback on the CONCACAF match on Sunday at Grosley. Maybe I missed it. I think the person is talking about the Division 1 football match. No, I don't think we did for Grosley.
Oh, yes,
Northern United drew 2-2 and
with
Platinum, and the other game was
1-1.
The first game, 1-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. The person said CONCACAF, but it seems like Northern United going to
I was
CONCACAF,
wondering
right?
what's CONCACAF?
All right, good evening, guys. Congrats for a great show, which was the Veterans Tournament. I know it's early days, but are there any thoughts on how to improve the tournament? I think one of the things we spoke about is the extra time in terms of that. That's something that has to be reviewed. Earlier, they asked a question about the lights in the bathroom. I think you wanted to respond to that.
Well, these are venue issues, so it's something we have to really look into. We as organizers try our best to really light up the facility. So it's something that it's really out of our hands, when you have the bathrooms and things like that. But it's something definitely that we need to take note of. There's another concern about, I guess, for the individual awards.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have a panel of about 3 persons, So
But it's just that Tennyson leads the panel.
Yeah, Tennyson leads the panel,
it's not solely up to me.
Yeah.
For example, I would just break it down a bit. Alvin is part of the panel as well, as much as he is a player. So we consult and we come to a decision based upon who we think is deserving of what it is.
Yeah.
So,
And Kenson too.
Yeah, they normally ask for opinion.
Today you see, very interesting. You see, what it is. I think, I guess we are the person that see every single game, and that's what it is.
So we look at consistency, your worth, your value. It's not a one-off situation like you see a player just show up and say, "Oh, you have a magical game." No, it goes beyond just that.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody says, "Yes, Eli, that's my only disappointment." I guess the person was talking about Eli's desire for us to have a dance-off.
Yeah, but you won't see that. You ain't gonna see that. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, pay some serious money for that. Yeah, man.
Although we're looking at improving the tournament.
Yeah.
So maybe later this year.
I don't see how that.
I just want to bring it up. I think some persons want more of veterans football. Like I told them, it's not a tournament. I always call it a season because we have 5 months. Yeah, I mean, that's a season. Yeah,
good evening. You're live. Go ahead with your contribution, caller.
Good night, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
The best football picks is from the Marble Valley, and you can only get those picks at the DJ Donga
Marcus and Cup.
Look at those smiles, Kenson. The face expression. Gentlemen, Balikan, I'm very sorry. I couldn't come to your finals.
I understand, and we spoke about that.
I think that is one of the things we need to decide on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we have veterans clashing together. If the Marcus and Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it is very difficult. For either one of us rather to attend. But from what I heard so far, it was a success. A successful tournament. Sorry, gentlemen, and my voice. A successful tournament.
Yeah,
the DJ Donga Marcus Cup, Kenson. Kenson, sorry, is this coming Saturday at the live shows playing field. The game starts from 6, but we'll be there from 5.
Yeah.
Prediction again. You said last week Monday, Kenson, that it would have been El Nino, right? El Nino's Peter transfer now. It's a different tone now. Now that we have Rovers United and El Nino's, and Peter Travel Young Stars. Let me hear your prediction.
All right, my earpiece fell for a little bit, but I think you guys want my prediction for the weekend.
That'll be careful. You can do that, yeah?
No, but you see, the thing about it is, the Valley people more kicks it on me when Rovers because these people understand at the end of the day it's football. These people understand football. At the end of the day, you're making a prediction. Football is on the day. I'm not playing. It's like I play in defense and attacking. I'm only going based on what I see, so I may be wrong, I may be right. But I will say that, but I said it earlier, I had Peter Travel Young Stars ranked higher than Rovers United. Rovers United are playing against Peter Travel Young Stars, so there's really no reason for me to now switch the way I saw it last week. I still see Peter Travel Young Stars as having the edge. defending champions, and I mean, I think in terms of having somebody that could turn the game away in just a blink of an eye, this guy kicks from any angle, anywhere. We're talking about Rita Stanislas. I mean, I would still give them the edge to come out victorious this weekend. I guess we'll see. Okay, that is yours. Yeah, I strongly believe that this year is the second year for the tournament. Last year, Peter Charles Youngsters, they won. I say, they won, and again, I said they beat two of the strongest teams in the Valley. Again, they came back and created havoc. I strongly believe this time, Kenson, Robert United will stand and defend, for survivors only, So I strongly, again, it's my prediction. So I strongly believe this year it might just be. It hasn't been wrong 2 weekends in a row, Really that alone. Well, let's see what happens on Saturday. All right, sir. Yeah. So once again, Malaga, I'm very sorry I couldn't attend one of the games. But next year, let's work around it. Yeah,
Definitely. And thanks for the support, Donga. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And all the best on Saturday, too.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
All right, somebody says, last show you all promised to speak on the emergence of new teams for the next tournament, but never touched on it. I think we spoke about Labowie Connection and the impact they had on the tournament and how well they did. I think we spoke about that last time. I mean, I think, I don't know how much more can be said on that. Somebody says, goal of the tournament was not given to the right individual, so the panel got it wrong.
you think?
Imagine that.
The only other goal which rivals the goal of the tournament is the goal scored by Satan, and there was another, by Benjamin Satan against behind the college. But if you look at the the artistry of that goal from, and just further out than
beyond the half line.
That's way behind. So. And the guy is a defender. He's a centre back. Satan is an attacking player, so he has the edge already. So when you have a centre back driving a ball from almost midfield, it's a snapshot. So it's a total difference. So it's our judgment. So I don't think you can say it is wrong because both goals are of equal class.
I was just saying, in your opinion, you figured.
I don't say it's wrong. It's not a question.
The Veterans Tournament can improve if the Viewfort surface is improved like a roller for the finals. Again, as Malakan said, facility issues.
Facility issues, and definitely, I think goes beyond the
just
roller.
rolling.
It's a lot more.
Field maintenance is definitely more than that.
So it's something we definitely have to look into.
All right.
But not really. Not really us.
I know what
it's because we rented a facility, and then the facility is owned by, and they're supposed to put the facility up to par.
Somebody says Rovers will win 3-2. Gal Emmanuel will score 2 goals. Rovers will win 3-2. Wow, confident much. Okay, all right. I know about this message already. Congrats to Sufre. They really deserved it, and we're already looking forward, to next tournament. All right, congratulations to you guys. Big up to Labowie Connection, most improved team. Wow. So the team moved from coming there for the first time to most improved in 1 year.
They're not the most improved. They're not the most improved. The most improved team is Grozily. Grozily came from what they were, and they got into the finals.
In the plate, and they came to the finals.
All the way to the finals. What we can say is that he's an emerging team. But not the most improved team.
Emerging team. And they did well,
The guys surpassed the expectations. I mean, all well and good that they are new entrants, but you could have seen them getting better as they go along. And one of the things that they did is that they changed their training regime. It used to be every other day, and they piggyback on having it every day. So again, we've had practice, they got rewards.
Definitely.
Somebody says, good night, Kenson, and your guests. I must say I was disappointed with Saturday's result of the finals, although it was a great game. But I believe the officiating left a lot to be desired. Nevertheless, I had a great time as always. Thanks much, VIS Inc. Now, I don't want to say VIS Inc. When you see it,
check yourself.
Thank you. Much love from Viewfort. All right. Somebody says referees need to understand that they need to. Oh my God! I end up answering anything. The number to call people is 451-9788. The 488-099 is for WhatsApp messaging. All right, referees need to understand that they need to look to finish games with both teams finishing the game with all players, especially in the front. I don't really agree to that because at the end of the day, it can happen that somebody gives somebody a really hard tackle.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. So yes. I mean, all right, Kenson, thanks for the prediction. See you on Saturday, and the Peter Travel Rovers coming for you. We've been waiting for last year. Last year they defeated Rovers United in that semis. So the person says we've been waiting for since last year when we lost to you all in the semis. This year it will be different, but good luck to you, Peter Travel Youngsters. All right. Yes. So, all right. Okay. All right. Interesting conversations here. All right. Somebody says I totally agree. I just thought that the referee put that extra pressure on Ghostan. For those who don't know, Ghostan is aka Gross. All right, good evening. You're live. Go ahead for contribution.
Yeah, Kinson, I had to call again. I'd like to thank persons, Kinson, who came out yesterday to the semi-final, especially with that drastic change. The field was, surrounded with plywood. It was an issue for some. But persons need to understand, Kinson, that we have bills to pay, and
you want the tournament to continue.
Yes.
You cannot continue a tournament without a bottom line.
Yeah. Well put.
Yeah. Well, some commented me on it was it was an issue, but like I said, Kinson, I can depend on sponsors 100%.
Exactly.
I need to meet them halfway,
Yeah.
And again, where I won't take the tournament to, it is costing, a bit,
Yeah.
But again, the same procedure for this coming Saturday, Kinson. Again, we'll be paying 5 and 10, excuse me.
For the final,
Yes, for the final.
Same price. Wow, good.
Yes, but there'll be much more to do. I mean, in entertainment, like performance and much more, So again, let me thank all those who came out yesterday to support, and all those who have been, supporting me, by, advising me. Thank you once again, and I do thank you as well, Kinson. Job well done.
Please, boy, I'll be happy. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll take you up on that. Yes,
thank you.
Yeah, definitely want to make mention of that quickly. That people need to be a little more understanding. You have vendors paying to vend inside of the facility. So if there's a policy that there's no re-entry, there's a reason for that. The people need to understand that. If somebody is going to pay to vend inside the facility, why allow people to go in and out and buy stuff from outside, which will restrict the persons that are actually paying to vend from making their money? So everything has to happen in a nice cycle, people. You have to understand that. But again, it's change. Change sometimes is hard, so we don't know. All right?
Yeah, I could just make a comment. You see, a lot of times, people talk about development of the football. They want more veterans football. I just use veterans as an example. But everything comes at a cost,
Definitely.
Bringing in the 22 teams, extending the tournament, all that comes at an added cost, you know. So I could really sympathize with Dunga, that sometimes you cannot just depend on sponsors.
Not only that, I mean it's entertainment, because sports is entertainment. So why you want to enjoy free entertainment,
and they pay the ridiculous amount of money for sometimes. Okay, we still have a 60-year-old referee officiating in the highest level of football in St. Lucia. Where are we going?
I wouldn't say we. I don't think St. Lucia. I don't think you have to say we are not the highest level. I think the person they know what they want to say, but I think they compose it wrong.
The fine. Okay, well, I have no idea what's the referee's age, so I can't validate anything here.
I don't think.
But we still things like that happen. Things like that happen. We hope that it doesn't happen.
Things like that happen, but should not be happening. However, we are not responsible, or we're not charged with the responsibility of who referees. Remember, there's a referees association. So that is not for us to say.
Malakan can decide this is the referee I want there.
And that's something you walk around and you hear comments where people are saying that you need to select your referees. But then the integrity of the tournament is very important, and that's why we look to the SLFA to be responsible for that. So the teams don't know who is going to referee a match. As the promoters and organizer, we don't know who are the referees. Match day. It'd have to be the SLFA will do the assignment of the referees. So you come and and then you come to a game and not having to worry about that.
All right.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have to go to the montage before we end tonight. So I'm just going to give you guys the opportunity to speak your piece on the veterans football and what we can look forward to in season 2018-2019.
Well, I mean, of course, like we've actually taken down a lot of the information from the fans, from the spectators, from everybody, as a matter of fact. Put that down in a parking lot and see how best we can tweak some of the rules to our competition. We want it very much unique, but we must still keep it football.
I like the fact you said ours, because all of it.
It's
That's the good thing about that's one football competition that
it's
everybody
ours.
feels like it's
Yeah, it
there.
does. Trust me. Like I said, we spend 4 to 5 months down the road. So everybody is part of everybody. So again, like I said, we'll take all this information, of course, put it in the parking lot, and ensure that we tweak it, but still keep it towards football. We don't want to lose the football side of things. And I can say clearly tonight is that when Alvin meet up with his team and meet up with us again, you will be in for an even better package than what you saw this season.
All right, so let me allow you to segue by asking that question. Somebody said, what about a Champion of Champions trophy added to the fixture every year? Plate champs versus the obviously Caribbean Alliance champs, and I would say Soufre, I think we need a rematch. 11 and 11.
Well,
is US,
okay, I'll go out and say most definitely we will have a veterans champion of champions, a Super Cup champion. Yeah, where we'll bring the plate champions against the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup champions, and the runners up of both things. So we'll definitely have that this year. We're going to sit down and look at exactly how we're going to plan the veterans football calendar. A lot of, we have taken it's been a long season, so we have really documented all the areas that needs improvement. And yes, it was a successful tournament, but, there's always room for improvement, room for, making the tournament a more wonderful one. I think, as Tennyson says, our tournament, and our meaning the players, the promoters, the fans. Because one thing I admired this year is that everybody, including the fans and the patrons and everybody, have really taken ownership of the tournament. So it's not just about me, running the tournament, and my team, Gavin and the whole crew. But then everybody is part of it, and we listen. And then we make the improvements. We are seeing areas we are going to make the improvements. When you have the administrator making some suggestions, you must listen. So it's important that we take these steps. And again, to keep it's a football tournament, but we need to just make sure how we can just improve on it and just make it better for everybody. And again, keeping the whole entertainment aspect of the tournament and playing at a high level.
All right, must say that I've thoroughly, as tired as I was at the end, I thoroughly enjoyed this year's competition. I think it was absolutely awesome. Balakan, before I go to that to that final montage, I know definitely you have some people that you want to definitely
I don't know
call out to, and before we go to that montage. So
definitely. With the success of the tournament again lies with our sponsors, and a special shout out to them. Again, the head of football in St. Lucia, the St. Lucia Football Association. Thanks for partnering with us and making this tournament very successful. Caribbean Alliance and St. Lucia Insurance is our main and title sponsors. They are putting a lot into this tournament financially and otherwise. Flo, Bryson Company, Marcusson, Morissette Auto Repairs, South, Summersby, Fireball, Stones, Ginger Wine, Blue Water, C.O. Williams, Stag, Pierre Marcel, RJB Hotel Supplies, Bounty, Doers, Studio No Excitement, Radio Caribbean. Let me see who again. Who am I missing out? St. Lucia Sports Online. Dave and De Beauville, thank you.
Yeah, man.
I think the support I got from Dave and De Beauville this year was amazing. I think De Beauville only missed one match. Dave was there for the full time, and they won time. And the coverage I got from The Voice and everybody, the Star, was amazing. So thank you to everybody who made this tournament a real success. Thank you to Tennyson. you know, Chinese, you know, everybody, you know,
man.
you know, Bosco for feeding us on a Sunday morning.
DJ Lovely,
DJ Lovely,
and her crew,
and her crew.
Choice Sounds.
Special shout out to Stanley.
Moving Coco Bellas.
Everybody, you know,
and the MC himself.
Special shout out to our workers. You see our baggers, thank you, and our production crew, Bounty and the crew. You know, special shout out to Rufus, you know, for the hard work, you know, but you know, it's a whole team, you know, to really get this tournament, you know, successful and working, you know. So, you know, to Ernest for preparing the ground,
the
you
two
know.
guys at the gate,
Boxer and Smalley,
you
know, our security crew, you know, oh boy, just so many people, you know. Like when
a different announcement, too numerous to mention.
Yeah, definitely. You know when you have at the end of a movie, you have the credits going up. Yeah, that's what's happening.
The credits going up forever.
Thank you for to everybody. You know, thank you to my family, my wife and my son. You know, they're probably saying thanks for being home now. But thank you everybody. You know, thank you Kenson and you know really helping us out, you know, and a special shout out to Camilla's Plumber. You know, I must say, you know, Camilla's has really supported me throughout this whole tournament. You know, so
he must be watching.
Thank you, and Dinesh for the great ads. Everybody's asking, you know, where the ads are coming from. You know, we had to keep it going every week. You know, so thank you, you know, to everybody.
Yeah. All right. So well said. Somebody says, great tournament, fellas. Well done. I suspect that Soufrière will only get better next tournament. There will be an influx of new players. Bingi, my very first veterans competition and experience was awesome. The mishap to the end was not enough to change the feeling of Team Grosley and its supporters. Make us stronger. Big up Team Soufrière. Big up officials. No hard feelings. You see, Grosley people classy.
No, Bingi is a really classy guy.
Yeah. Somebody says, the police as well. Thanks for them. Thank you them. Don't forget us, the police. All right. Definitely congratulations to Soufrière on winning again. That's the second time. We went to 3 finals. I've won 2. Congratulations to Team Soufrière. Congratulations to Grosley. Proud of you guys forever. Love you guys. Well done. Showed the fight. Congratulations to all the teams who participated and everybody who made this veterans tournament the best ever. We'll take a look at the pictures and we will see you guys next Monday right here for another edition of 758 Sports Talk. Good night.
Good night.
Don't mind them. Show them. Jeune femme, écoutez, jeune femme, show them. Jeune femme, wine and go down, make bumper, catch and fire, and I'll be the firefighter. That book, kabale yo kafi me marijuana, ek pasa acheter a lighter. Femme, chebe bala min like a coupi, akodi yo kafuye a banja. That book, agade weka di famu, akodi yo se news reporter. Jump and wine to the grungle, wine to that songle, ume sa fini fote. Même si yo gade wepi mal parler, ou pani l'argent kapwete. Jeune femme, fais ça zigzag, fais ça bon mais up à la vie. Toute jeune femme qui belle, est jolie, mais or just écouter. Wine and go down, make bumper, catch and fire, and I'll be the firefighter. That book, kabale yo kafi me marijuana, ek pasa acheter a lighter. Femme, chebe bala min like a coupi, akodi yo kafuye a banja. That book, agade weka di famu, akodi yo se news reporter. Where shot US, where shot Hennessy, faites la bad eka sensi. Manye ou sispan bala, ek ou sispan vaisi, ou kaba me mal kadi. Mete la mawate, explit les es, snap a pic and WhatsApp me. Let's osala la jet, turn the volume up, ek tan sa many booty. Wine and go down, make bumper, catch and fire, and I'll be the firefighter. That book, kabale yo kafi me marijuana, ek pasa acheter a lighter. Femme, chebe bala min like a coupi, akodi yo kafuye a banja. That book, agade weka di famu, akodi yo se news reporter. Jump and wine to the grungle, wine to that songle, pou me sa fini fote. Même si yo gade wepi mal parler, ou pani l'argent kapwete. Jeune femme, fais ça zigzag, fais ça bon mais up à la vie. Toute jeune femme qui belle, est jolie, mais or just écouter. Wine and go down, make bumper, catch and fire, and I'll be the firefighter. That book, kabale yo kafi me marijuana, ek pasa acheter a lighter. Femme, chebe bala min like a coupi, akodi ukafuye a banja. That book agade weka idi famu akodi o say news reporter. Akodi o say news reporter. Akodi o say news reporter. Go down there. Akodi o say don't mind them.
Producer V.
Olan. Was I say Mata Killer? Keisha. Let we go down.
On the people, man. On the people, man. On the people, man.
All right.
On the people, man. Let's go. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa, 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 whoa. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Shake it fast, shake it slow. Watch that girl, she is a pro. Bumper song, marshmallow. Play that there like piano. Up and down, girl, let's go. Back it up, touch your toe. Up and down, girl, let's go. Mission boys, not an papi show.
I come to push back and wing my body. And when I wing back, control my body. I coming down in the band, and I'm winging on any man. Even if your woman come tell her, she have to wait till I'm done. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa, 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 whoa. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Back it up on the people, man. Now, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Shake it fast, shake it slow. Watch that girl, she is a pro. Bumper song, marshmallow. Play that there like piano. Up and down, girl, let's go. Back it up, touch your toe. Up and down, girl, let's go. Mission boys, not an papi show.
Hey, who let that one touch it wrong? Who let that one turn around? Who let that one touch it wrong? Now, whoa, whoa, whoa.
So we tell them who let that one turn around. Yes, who let that one touch the ground? Who let that one turn around?